Who's that guy? Hey there, all you Spartans, Athenians, Trojans, and everyone else in your respected city-states. Welcome to a special episode of Who's That God? Now, today's episode is very special because it is our 100th anniversary edition. I'm your host, Stryon, son of Leon, and today we've got a special guest for you. Okay, so see if you can figure it out. He is the god of homosexuality, wilderness and vegetation, reincarnation, plays, but also perhaps best known for viticulture, vineyards, drunkenness, parties, and festivals. No, it's not Kesha, but you guessed it, Dionysus! Alright, hello Dionysus. Wow. Thank you for being on the show today.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Dionysus.
Give me your wine.
Alright, so let's talk a little bit about it. For those of you who don't know Dionysus, we're going to get to know right now. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your background, because I understand you have a very, very interesting background. I guess we should start with the basics. Your parents.
Oh, my folks? Okay, well, my dad, he's Zeus, he's the god. And my mom, she is Semele. She is actually human-born. She's actually the princess of Thebes. Shout out to Thebes out there. Okay.
Wait. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit, because from my understanding, Zeus is married to Hera.
Yeah, that's...
Patron of marriage, by the way.
That is the scandal out there. Dad's a rolling stone, He gets in when he fits in, and he fell in love with my mom, and,
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a note from our producer.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Alright.
Well, but yeah, Hera, she, that's my stepmom. She doesn't like to claim me, though. It's okay. But, basically, Zeus fell in love with my mortal mom. They had an affair. Shh. And,
we're not telling anyone.
Don't tell anyone. I'm not even supposed to be alive right now, because,
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry to cut you off, but I that brought up an interesting point, because from my understanding, there's a legend about you actually being born twice.
I was born twice. I'm the twice born again god. But basically, my dad gave birth to me the first time on his thigh. His inner thigh. Because my mom died. She went down to... And, he sewed me up on his thigh and gave birth to me when the time was right. So, that's why they call me the thigh god.
So yeah, you're twice born. And the thigh god thing, that's very interesting. So I can't imagine that the relationship between you and Hera is very stable, friendly.
It's not.
I actually heard a little, through the grapevine. Yeah, I heard through the grapevine, hot gossip, that Hera actually tried to have you killed. Is this true?
Actually, I was really young when it happened, so I can't really give you the
Kind of fuzzy?
Kind of fuzzy, but what they tell me is that, yes, she did try to kill me. Good old
Had some
stepmom.
titans rip you apart or something like that?
They did, but Rhea, good old Auntie Rhea, she put me back together,
Wow.
And again, that's where the...
Twice born comes from. Wow.
Comes from, exactly.
Let's talk about your entourage. Okay, I understand you have a very, very strong following. For those of you who don't know, or who aren't necessarily a part of this following, number one, you should be, okay? Because they have so much fun. I have seen them, and they are always tearing it up. So let me talk to you about this cult following. It's almost like a cult following. Talk to me about your entourage.
Well, I have an entourage of Maynards, and they're great, actually. They are mortal women, and they follow me around getting drunk off my wine, and running amok. That's why, I had to tear them away from the towns, and we go into the woods to have our fun.
Okay, and the satyrs? What about them?
The satyrs, yes, they follow me also. I actually fell in love with one once. His name
and Pelos, correct? I've been doing my research.
It's just so hard to say, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
Impelos. He died actually riding a bull. The bull just tore him to shreds.
But I also understand that something very good came out of it.
It did. His death is what made me want to take his blood and make the vines of wine and grapes with. From my lover's blood.
Okay, wow. Moving right along, speaking of blood, I've also heard stories and witnessed with my own eyes. The Maenads apparently eat animals in the woods. Do you want to explain to some might, I don't know.
I can't really explain it. They do what they want. That's what I'm there for. I'm just there to have a good time with them.
And you drive them mad and it just spirals from there?
They do. Bitches love me.
Wow, impressive. Welcome to the show. Oh, someone's had something to drink. All right. Well, I'll let you two ladies get back to that. Thank you so much for being with us and joining us. Everyone, the Maenads, give it up for them.
I'll call you girls later. Okay.
Wow, so those are the Maenads, and so they're actually mortal women?
They are mortal women who follow me around, yeah.
Wow, and the satyrs, I understand, they're part horse, part man?
Yes, they are not all human, but they're not all horse.
Okay.
And so they have either like the facial structure of a horse or just other genitalia that are horse-like.
Okay. Awesome. Dionysus, everyone. Wow. Okay. So now that we've talked about that following, let's talk about, your more, what's the word? Civilized, if you will. Following, maybe your less rowdy following. The citizens of Greece. And let's talk about a little bit about them. I understand that they actually have festivals all about you. And for those of you who don't know, the festival of Dionysus is actually the most important festival for any particular god. It's the second most important festival in Athens, only behind the Pantheon Games. Okay, but that's for remind you all of the gods. But when it comes to one single god, Dionysus, everyone. Dionysus, that's all I can say. So right now we're going to get into that, okay? So let's talk about this festival. They write plays, they drink wine, it sounds like a good time. Tell us about it. We want to know.
Well, it happens every year when the spring comes. So the first bloom of flowers and of grapevines, that's when they start to prepare for my festival. They bring plays, usually about 3 tragedies and 1 satire, of course. And then they usually just bring homemade wine that they've been harvesting, and they pay it as tribute and drink it at the festival in honor of me.
In honor of you, and they also offer you some, correct?
They do, but...
Which I'm sure you take part in, share with your Maenads, get a little crazy.
Oh yeah, those girls are wild, as you can see.
Yeah, they are. Wow, okay. For those of you who are interested in attending the festival, you can find the information at the Theater of Dionysus, which is located on the southern slope of the Athenian Acropolis, okay? It's got room for only about 17,000, okay? So make sure you get there early, and as always, citizens only, okay? No women, no slaves, no anyone who is not a citizen, but citizens only, which we all know, white men. So I will not be there, but if you want, you can bring me a t-shirt and tell me all about it. That'd be great. And if you also are looking for more information, you can also go to the Anthisteria Festival, which honors Dionysus as the god of wine. Okay, so thank you so much, Dionysus, for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Okay, and thank you. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in and learning all about Dionysus. Let's give it up one more time. A big round of applause for Dionysus.
You're welcome.
Make sure you tune in to next week's episode where we're going to be interviewing Hera. And I'm sure she's going to have a lot to say. So you don't want to miss that. All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. See you next time.